presented by
the New York Mets play the Miami Marlins in the first game of a doubleheader. Today's first game
in front of a full house, that's for sure. But this club, the Marlin Club, you know, they don't draw down there. They're used to it.
Won the World Series in 2003, but they made the postseason in 2020 when there was nobody in the.
At first, Ronnie, who played all 4 games in Philly at second base, is at second base again.
Soler leads off for the Marlins. First pitch of the game, a fastball outside for ball 1, and we're under some fine work in a spot starting role. Right, McNeil hustles in and grabs it for to date. It's lift coming in and toward the line. He slides and he started against Braxton Garrett, center, and on comes Nimmo to get it, and that retires. 8th pitch of the at-bat to Nimmo, and he takes it low, ball 4, and the Mets have a leadoff base run. Not running, and Alonso cranks one out of here. What a shot by Pete!
Well, that's good for Pete. Right break.
It's been nearly 2 weeks since his last one. Lindor hits one on the ground. Jake Berger's got it. As the Marlins, most against any opponent, back a couple of strides, and puts it away to retire after one. And he strikes out De La Cruz through a fastball right down the middle.
And you have the Marlins tied.
Nimmo near the wall, and it's off the fence. Birdie, who can stop there. 1-2 coming. And hammered on the ground up the third baseline, just foul behind.
And if Baltimore just doesn't lose.
Popped up, so should have room. And uses 2 hands.
Toronto the same.
Swing and a miss. Lucchesi strikes out Chisholm to retire.
265, 268.
Satisfied till he rules everything. Fly them for half a season. There's ball 4, so for the second straight inning. And Beatty taps one in front of them. It's going to go to second, right on target to Bird. And he pops one up. Third baseman Berger calls and catches.
Game.
Empty building. 2-0 Mets after 2. All against righties. And he pops one for Alonso near the bag. 1 out. Oh no's in 69. That's outside, ball 4, and so Hampson and his
established inside.
Soler drives one out to right. McNeil back onto the warning track and reaches up. Soler hitting it hard the other way, but McNeil, they moved during this at bat. Now he does. The throw by Alvarez is too late, and Hampson
pick up.
3-2 coming, and he hits this steal onto the warning track. He's got this one.
Steve Gelb's back with you in the bottom of the top half of that inning. Jeff McNeil make a couple of nice plays in the outfield, and he wanted to show them that he could play all over the getting him up here, but once he was here, it certainly has added the type of value that he'll.
Had a good home run year in 19, and the rest is history. Big chopper to second base, and Birdie low from to be in the dirt. It's Ronnie Mauricio. That's a good point. I mean, you think about
999 out of 1,000 times.
1-1 to Mauricio, and he fouls one back. Mauricio took a strikeout for Garrett so far through 2 1/3. Alonso to the Marlins. Poked the other way and caught by Gurriel. Snatched it. Well, Doc Gooden's in the stands today.
Doc.
It was nice to see Doc here, right here. And Doc, he has a good seat. Pete now has 3 of the top 8 RB31 last year, which set the club record. He hit ahead of the day. Chisholm, so Pete is 2 for 2. Pulled foul outside third by Lindor. This conversation will be moot. That goes to the backstop, and Alonso. Lindor went through something similar in Cleveland, and they opted to trade him a year before. Here you go. That's why I called you a young Keith Hernandez. 2-2 coming, and Lindor smacks with De La Cruz, and that ball is out of here with his 28th home run.
Nice level swing, no overswing.
Mets 2 big bats. Alonso Marlins playoff potential. Vientos fouls one back, 2-1.
The Mets could
center his first time up. And he fouls this fastball back, 3-2. Those limits they have. And Vientos goes down swinging on the cutter and double their lead on Lindor's 2-run homer. It's 4-0 after 3. 4th inning, Jake Berger hits one deep down the and foul. Hit over the foul pole and was ultimately ruled a foul ball. And now Lucchese's second pitch of the inning is inside. They've hit some balls. 1-1 to Berger start in the fourth. And he takes a fastball just off the plate. Against Lucchese. He's given up just one hit through the first three. And Berger, and that'll go through for a base hit. Well, there have already been 3 teams with 100 losses since they moved there in 1968. The other 2 teams have lost 100. Struck out his first time. And he hits a double play ball. Lindor to his left. Mauricio with the turn. 6-4. In his 5th year with the Marlins. He hasn't had more than 5.
Well, the Marlins.
In fact, since that time, the Mets are 60 game of that series on the Friday night. Castro waiting for it. And Birdie's retired. Rolls along 4-0 in the 4th.
Well, I asked if you wanted my trap.
Jeff McNeil lines one to right. And Horace. On homers to Alonso and Lindor. And he misses down with the slider, and it's a ball so long.
The pitching's where it's at.
Knocked down by Garrett, loses the glove, finds the ball, and throws. Here's Brett Beatty. I would say that, and they might have the best closer in Devin Williams, but the Nola and Suarez. I think either one of those teams could, hoping he'll be ready. And if they don't have either of those 2, then after you've spent.
So
Berger's there.
well, that's a quick inning.
It is.
Ronnie's got this 30. Have a nice dinner. Out.
Or as Dylan would say, that's all right, Mama.
No, I used to be.
Now you're an early bird.
I'm like an old timer.
Lindor.
Skip a beat.
Bunted past the pitcher, and all the troubles Chisholm's had against left-handers, so he found a way to. And here's Nick Fortes. And a balk, I believe, was called against Fortes. Popped up his first time. And he takes a knee-high strike, and fathom that would be the case. This one's popped up, so he will take charge of this one. Little base in the 3rd inning. He has the most at bats in the lineup against Lucchese. Lucchese pops one inside. Innings today. Lucchese misses just up at 2nd and 2 out. Now that's too high, ball 4. So Hampson walks for a second.
He's lost some tough ones. I mean, how pitchers lose tough games a lot, but
here today and be in that pantheon along with Doc Gooden. Pretty good company. Soler. And the first fastball is high, ball 1. And the curve is swung and foul tipped, and it's 1-1. 2nd year with the Marlins. He flies this one in for McNeil. And he'll get there to make this. He's got 5 scoreless innings and a 4-0 lead. The 1st inning, and the Mets were off and running. New pitcher for the Marlins as we go to the bottom of the 5th.
One of a numerous amount of left-handers in this Marlin bullpen.
Entitled to only 28 in September. During the regular season, whether you can go from 28 to 29. And Castro almost got hit. He was ready. 3-2 coming from Okert. And Castro pops one. Fortes for a look, but that'll be out of play.
50.
If they only have 4 starters, Castro down on strike. Brandon takes outside, ball 1. Garrett. Slider foul back, a ball and a strike. Marlins are trying to get to the postseason despite coming 2-13 in 1-run games. It's fouled away, and it's 1-2. Differential ever for a postseason team was -42. 55 losses by 1 or 2 runs. Take it high 3-2 to Nimmo. If we have a close game today. Swing and a miss, and so back-to-back strikeouts for Okert to start. Closer Tanner Scott. He's away on paternity leave, so they at least for today. 2 struck out and lined out, and takes a backdoor slider for a strike. Today he can get the low one. He chases the high one, and that's strike 3. So Okert strikes out in the bottom of the 5th. On to the 6th we go in game 1 of the doubleheader.